as you're working along with WordPress, you may want to bring a few other applications along for the ride. These are all optional. You don't have to have these programs, but it will definitely make your life 10 times easier. So let's have a quick look here. There's a bunch of things I want to bounce off you here. So applications that you might want to use with WordPress. First off here, a text editor. Now, I'm going to break it down here for you because I'm not sure if you're running a Mac or a PC machine, but on the Mac side, we can use BB Edit, which is a great text editor. We can use Coda, which is awesome. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. Or, of course, you can use Text Edit, which comes installed on your Mac. On the Windows side, on the PC side, you can use Edit Plus. You can use Notepad++, or of course, you can just use the straight-up Notepad that ships with Windows, right? Now, I really have to emphasize this here. Don't use a word processor. Don't use like Microsoft Word or, applications like this. We want an actual text editor, not a word processor. Reason being is word processors write bad HTML. They're going to mix in extra formatting and extra junk that we don't need that's going to mess things up on us, right? Okay, now what do you need a text editor for? Well, maybe you want to code out your own HTML, or maybe you want to start delving into a little bit of customization here with WordPress. Again, it's not a prerequisite, it's completely optional on your part. Okay, now next up, an FTP application. Do you know what an FTP application is? File Transfer Protocol. It's essentially a program that's going to allow you to connect up to a remote web server. For example, your hosting account where you are hosting your WordPress blog, right? Now, once again, on the Mac side and on the PC side, we have different applications. Here's the rundown for you. On the Mac, we have Fetch, we have Transmit, and we have CyberDuck. And then on the PC side, we have FileZilla, Qt FTP, and Smart FTP. And I threw in there at the bottom Fire FTP, which I love. It's a Firefox add-on, a Firefox plugin that'll work on both the Mac and PC sides. And that's the one that I use personally. So I can actually transfer files inside a tab inside Firefox, which I love. It's fantastic. Anyway, so you can check all that stuff out if you want. All right, what else do we have here? Other applications that you may want to use. Oh, you know what I was going to say? Sorry, before we move on. You don't have to have an FTP application, but, if you're running a remote WordPress blog, you've got to connect up to that blog in some way. So if you don't have an FTP application, the only other way to move files back and forth and, upload files and things like this is going to be to use your hosting account's file manager. Oftentimes, hosting accounts will have their own file manager, which I guess you could use, and sometimes I use mine, but again, I find using something like Fire FTP to be super easy and super straightforward. Okay, other applications. What do we have here? Here we go. Dreamweaver. Yes, we're going to do lots and lots of Dreamweaver stuff. I'm going to show you how to create custom posts in Dreamweaver, and we'll mess around a little bit, custom widgets and things like this. And the great thing is that Dreamweaver is going to write all of our code for us, so we can happily just dump that code into WordPress and have everything happen for us spontaneously. It's fantastic. So we'll get to that. Photoshop for your image editing, preparing your images, setting up your images for use online. We'll talk about that later. Illustrator, you might want to create some custom graphics in Illustrator, again, for use on your blog. You might want to work in a little bit of Flash. I don't know. Again, not a prerequisite. These are all optional. And anything beyond that, I mean, maybe you're a musician and you're building a blog for your band. Well, you'd probably want some audio software. Or, as you know already, I do a lot of video work, so I'm doing a lot of stuff in Final Cut Pro, right? And then I take my video from Final Cut and I have to compress it down and convert it into Flash video or, QuickTime video or whatever I need. So there are going to be extra applications depending on your specifics. But anyway, that's kind of a quick run through for you, and hopefully that gives you a sense of some of the other applications that you'll possibly want to use along with WordPress.